I just want to take an opportunity to thank you. I appreciate what we've gone through together as a system last year in all of the things that we did for each other, for our students, and for our community to keep each other safe, to keep each other kind of together emotionally, the support that we were able to provide and the flexibility that you were allowed us as a system to provide our community, all of the different things that we did to move forward in the best possible way to serve our students and our community. So I want to begin my comments today just by saying thank you for all that we've gone through together this last year, and the hope that this year we turn to a little closer to what we see as normal. So thank you very much for all you did last year. You know, in just a few moments, we're going to review some of the things and the honors that we have received over the past couple of years. I don't know that it's a secret to anyone here this morning that we are the premier district in the state of Iowa, that we are a fantastic place to be. Yeah, you bet. The amount of pride that we have, and deservedly so, in what we do and what we provide our students and community is, again, it's well deserved for ourselves and for our students. We do fantastic things here, and we have lots of honors and awards to show for that, and we're going to go over those in just a few moments. So I know sometimes, again, I came to our system 2 years ago, and I know sometimes as someone coming new to the system, Dr. Vincent mentioned that we have maybe about 50 people in that boat this year, that when you come into a system like this, you think to yourself, wow, there's such a rich tradition of excellence. There's such a rich amount of pride in this system. How do I prove myself worthy to be a part of a place like this? What I want to stress this morning is that you're here because you're the best at what you do. That's who we are, is the best at what we do. I don't want you to think, especially for those of us who are newer to the system within the past few years, how do I prove myself? What I do want us to think about is how do I improve myself? How do I every day become a better version of who I am to serve our students and community? Whether that's differentiated need because of a pandemic, whether that's growing need from a growing community, or whether that's just the constant art of refinement that we do as professionals. So my message to you this morning is being part of this great place, we don't need to necessarily prove that we deserve to be here, but I do want us to work on improving ourselves every day as we are here. I truly am honored to be a part of this team and this system. I appreciate all the work that you have done and that you will do this year to take care of our kids. And again, I just wanted the opportunity to say thank you for all that you've done and all that you will do. I wish you a great year.
I just want to echo those comments from Dr. Hawkins, and I can already see that this group is like our reputation as Iowans. You're pretty humble. I know when you hear those comments about your great tradition, that really gets me excited because in the first few weeks of me being here, that's exactly been my observation. So thank you for the work that has gone into that through the years, and thank you for the work you're ready to do. You have an amazing list of accomplishments from the past few years. We are going to just capture a few of them. And I'm going to invite Dr. Hawkins to come up with me, and we're going to try and tag team these fairly quickly. We have a few slides that will be up here, but mostly we'll just ask folks that were involved as we mention these things, if you will just stand. So the first one is the School Mental Health Award. The Ames Community School District was recognized with the first ever School Mental Health Justice Award, and it was presented at the 9th Annual School Mental Health Conference on August 11th in Des Moines. The award noted that the Ames District are relentless advocates for school mental health, and it specifically recognized the work that was accomplished during the Black Lives Matter School Week of Action held in February. All of those involved, could you please stand to be recognized? I think that's everybody. Come on, this is your chance to get up and stretch a little bit. All right.
Thank you. Another great honor for our system. Ames Middle School Principal Jonas Michael is the recipient of the 2021 Educator of Character Award. Staff nominated him for this recognition. The nomination letter written by one of his teachers in the building says, Jonas built trusting relationships and revised our building structures to honor our need for transparency, consistency, fairness, and sound decision-making, while nudging us towards a mindset needed for the change to come. Yet behind the scenes, Jonas collaboratively overhauled our schedule, behavioral responses, and the composition and responsibilities of a new administrative team. Congratulations, Jonas.
In each of the past 2 years, the U.S. News and World Report Best High School Rankings included Ames High School. And on that list of the best in the state 2 years ago and in the top 5 this past year. This U.S. News Best badges are widely recognized as symbols of excellence in U.S. education. Here are our high school staff.
Congratulations. And as an old PLC DeFore believer that I am, it's always noted by the late Dr. Rick DeFore, you can't have a great high school without a great elementary and middle school. So we know that as we get those awards for our high school, that's a foundation that's been built all the way through the system. So congratulations to all of us for that. The Iowa Governor's STEM Advisory Council announced that Ames Community School District Science in the City as one of the 22 STEM Best, which means Business Engaging Students and Teachers, program models for 2021. If you're involved in the Science in the City project, please stand and be recognized.
And equally true, we have one elementary recognized, and I would guess that this is true across the system to some extent, but Edwards Elementary was recognized by Heartland AEA and the Department of Education for their implementation of positive behavior interventions and supports. Where are Edwards staff?
And as we all came in this morning and we got to enjoy the wonderful weather and a nice breakfast, which again, I'm super appreciative of all the folks that pulled together to help make that happen, we got to walk past a wonderfully exciting thing for our community, and that is the construction of our new high school. At the end of July 2021, 71% of the construction project has been completed, and it is scheduled and is on time to open in August of 2022. We also have some student recognitions. You know, all the great things that we're doing result in great things for kids. And I'll make the connection just really quickly. That's why when we talk about improving ourselves on a day-to-day basis, right, there's a strong research base between my capacity and growth as an adult and the impact that I can have and increase for kids. Well, the great work we're doing is having great impact on kids, and I'm going to note a few of those things. Last year, we had a graduation class of over 300 students, and based upon the work also done in our summer school program of producing another 12 graduates, I anticipate that our graduation rate will be above 97% for this last class of students, which is fantastic. It's the ultimate mark for most of our students. We appreciate all the work that you've done for them. In the last 3 academic years, we've seen 32 National Merit semifinalists, 4 of those from last year. Last year, our regional Science Bowl, we were Region Science Bowl champions and had a spot at the National Science Bowl. We have incredible, as you know, music and fine arts programs here in Ames. We have 32 Ames High musicians were selected for the 2020 Iowa All-State Music Festival. Student artists at Ames High and Ames Middle School continually are chosen to be a part of national exhibits through Scholastic Art. And an Ames High artist was selected as the 2021 National Honors Art Society student. As you may know, Ames High has a tradition of athletic excellence as well. We have 92 team state championships, which is the most in the state. In 2020, our girls swimming won the state championship, its 9th title in 11 years. We had individual state track and field titles in the 800 meters for our boys and the 4x400 meters for our girls. Our 2020 boys basketball participated in the state tournament, and we had a state runner-up in the heavyweights of the wrestling competition. Please give a round of applause for all those who play a role in helping our students see that success.
I think you can see why it was an easy and very quick yes when I was asked if I would consider coming to Ames for a year. What a wonderful tradition all of you have built here. I'm honored to be here working with the board and each of you toward a smooth transition to a new superintendent next year. And as you heard earlier from President Shields-Cook, that process is well underway, and I believe in a track that will allow a new superintendent to be named early in the next school year, in the new calendar year. We're hoping January, February-ish. And as has also been acknowledged today, even as many things are off to a great start for this year, we obviously have a few challenges to overcome. I was really hopeful that I would have the opportunity to just appreciate the hard work all of you and families put in over the last few months dealing with this pandemic, but I believe we still have a little ways to go. I applaud the work you did, moving in and out of delivery models, pushing yourselves to the max while teaching both in person and online. There's never been anything like that before in my career. And as I mentioned to a group earlier in the week, if you ever had a doubt about the difference you make as educators and supports within an educational system, I hope those doubts are gone. As you listen to families and their newfound appreciation for your abilities and also your support alongside them, it is at an all-time high, and recognition that what all of us do every day truly makes a difference. So thank you for hanging in there in those tough times, and hopefully we will be much closer to normal throughout this school year. We will continue to model mitigation strategies. You see all of us when we are close proximity with the mask. Outdoors obviously helps, but we encourage the mask wearing as models and as a way to help keep especially our young children who have not yet had the chance for vaccination as safe as possible. We also invite you, if you have not been vaccinated, to do so. And Kathy Arnold has worked very hard on lots of things behind the scenes, but including organizing a clinic on Tuesday, the 24th, from 5 to 7 at the district office. You can see information about that on the website and sign up.
Thank you. While mindful of the pandemic, the important work within our schools will continue. And I must say, as I talk a little bit about what's going on with teaching and learning this year, it just did my heart so good the other day to see our new teachers at district office working with our staff and their mentors. It just felt like the beginning of school again. It was great. This year, we are encouraged to be able to revisit many topics related to teaching and learning that last year were necessarily paused. We will continue a multi-year process of implementing an instructional framework. This will be led by myself and our other staff to provide our system with a common language and vision for instruction and assessment and teaching in our district. We will reestablish curriculum review cycle with our new Director of Teaching and Learning, Aaron Miller, and that work has already begun. If you have time, listen or watch to the latest Amazing Education podcast on this topic. Gotcha. Got a plug. All right. Again, I know that great things happen in the classroom. I didn't have the opportunity to be in as many classrooms as I desired last year. I'm excited that this year I think I'm going to be able to be in classrooms much more. But what I was able to see last year was just fantastic. I'm excited to be able to pop into classrooms again this year and see the great work going on where the rubber meets the road, right? So thanks for all you do, and we will continue as a district to support our growth in teaching and learning.
I am mindful the sun is out and it's getting warmer and we are close, so hang with us. You guys just have way too many celebrations to get through. A few of the others that we'd be remiss if we didn't mention about work that happens to put the best foot of the district forward include mentioning again the new high school project. Can you imagine sitting here a year from now with the new high school open and ready to go? What a celebration the district will have. Thank you to all the hands that are working to keep that project on time and on budget. We also would like to acknowledge the work of our business staff. I would guess you, like me, no longer take it for granted that there's a paycheck that comes, even in the middle of a pandemic. Not everyone could say that, but our business office kept things going, and that is more complicated, as you could imagine, remote. There were also some positions that were reduced through attrition and that sort of process, but everyone got to continue to work and get paid and were not let go as a result of the pandemic. We also have appreciation for some external funding that contributed to that. One of the really, I'd say if there is a cool thing in a pandemic, it was, I thought, a wonderful decision for U.S. Department of Education and USDA to work collaboratively to assure children got fed. Not only did they get fed, they had free meals continuing through the summer, and once again this year, all students in our systems will be provided free meals. And then finally, our technology. And of course, there are many hands here today, but all of our students have devices that are less than 2 years old, and they're equipped to provide all students hotspots if they need them. Again, that is tremendous. As we move to close today, I'd like to leave just a few thoughts with you. In a recent Learning Forward Journal article, Dr. Jim Knight from the University of Kansas Center for Research on Learning reflected on an often used quote from Martin Luther King Jr. It's a quote related to equity and social reform. The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. In this article, Dr. Knight acknowledged he wasn't sure that he could agree with the ever-positive viewpoint expressed by Dr. King, especially given the realities we all have experienced in our current society. However, he offered ideas about pathways each one of us can choose that come from his deep work in schools, and I share some of these ideas for our reflection as we begin this new school year. Dr. Knight encouraged all of us that work within educational systems to think of ourselves as change leaders. Leadership, as we all know, isn't about a position, it's about action. I extend his invitation and challenge to us here in Ames this year to think of ourselves as change leaders. And as we do that work, we get to make the choice in all of our actions and our expressions of whether we are leading with power over or power to. In Dr. Knight's words, a power to orientation grows from real relationships where we work to build connections with our colleagues, the students that we work with, family and community members, and we are intentional in our practices to demonstrate respect and empathy. It's up to us. We choose if we continue to build caring and equitable learning environments in which each child and young adult can thrive. It's up to us. We choose if we do our work with a view of that longer-term goal to prepare all students for success in post-secondary learning and living settings. We have the ability to contribute toward learners in our system, developing strong academic and social emotional skills. It is up to us to assure all students have a strong sense of belonging and appreciation of their own culture and heritage, as well as knowledge of and respect for diverse cultures of others. It is up to us to intentionally examine the content within our classrooms and our school system to build understanding of diverse perspectives. And it is absolutely up to each one of us to address any and all inequities that may exist throughout our system. As we move through this year, let's be intentional in our actions and our words and demonstrate every day that we not only value all students, all family members, community members, and the colleagues with whom we interact, but we see their dignity and their humanity. It is up to us. For those of you that are new to the Ames system this year, I hope you realize you are joining an amazing system. For those of you that have been contributing to the sometimes difficult and challenging work of systems change, I applaud you and I say thank you for leading the way toward diverse, inclusive schools with equitable outcomes. Thank you for choosing to work with the community school district here in Ames. We are on an amazing path where we can change the arc of the universe. Thank you so much and have a wonderful school year.